So in this video, we're looking at our 24-hour day, midnight, 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. One of the things that happens in the course of our 24-hour day is we have a period of deep sleep. By this I mean a sleep and not dreaming, with no sense of I and no sense of my. Another common state, even though we don't always remember it, is the dream state. And while we're dreaming, that dream feels and seems to us to be real. So here we have three friends enjoying each other's company in a dream. At a certain point, the waking state consciousness arises. And what happens when that waking state consciousness arises? The first thing is that it claims the center position, so now it becomes me. And as soon as that me wakes up, then all of the my's wake up. So here we see this woman seeing herself as a kind of superwoman because she has all of these things she has to deal with and all of these people and situations to deal with. And we see her getting ready to zoom off to work and to deal with her boss and all the random things that might happen in the day. And maybe she has a few moments for her spiritual practice as well. And now we see another model of the same thing. Waking state assumes that center position. Now, rather than being one more thing on the edge, it becomes a me. That me claims the deep sleep state and claims the dream state. And now the day begins with a certain kind of attitude. And what is that attitude? Well, the attitude is that I have to deal with all of this. And a friend of mine was looking at this photo and saying, well, that's a lot of characters. But when you think about it, how many characters are part of your day? Both in your actual day and also in your imagination. So here we see that waking state consciousness, assuming that center position, and getting ready as a kind of superwoman to deal with this to-do list, which she herself makes. So it's not just a list, it's a list with an attitude, and the attitude is have to. So here's all of the things this woman has to deal with. And not only are there a lot of details on the list, and maybe some left over from a day before or other days before, there are also things to feel, things to plan, and things to worry about. What would happen if we allowed a more peaceful part of ourselves to assume that center position? So here we have a symbol of something a little more peaceful, and also we notice a light on the edge, and that might indicate that that peaceful part is connected to a larger center of peace. The biggest difference is that that waking state consciousness now is not in the center where all the pressure is experienced, but she's on the edge as a kind of assistant manager to help carry out all of the things that our wiser, more peaceful part might deem to be valuable. So then rather than a have-to list, here we see a get-to list. And that's a very different attitude. And the biggest thing about that get-to list is we get to include ourselves. So the same care and love that we offer to other people, we offer to ourselves as well. And this leads to a more spacious model and a more spacious feeling. And it might even be that we have the same number of things to do, but when they're done with a more peaceful attitude, we find that the day goes a little more smoothly, not only for ourselves, but others as well.